Hello everyone, welcome back to our six-part short webinar series focusing on all the wonderful areas that make up the beautiful, beautiful state of Arizona. For those joining us for the first time, my name is Chris Catanzariti from Link Tourism, one of Australia's leading sales, marketing and PR agencies, and we proudly represent the Arizona Office of Tourism. Thank you for joining us in the fourth webinar as part of our new short series. In this week's webinar, we'll be taking a look at Arizona's tribal nations and the experiences that are on offer for visitors to the state. So as a quick refresher, and for those who are joining us for the first time, Arizona is situated in the southwestern United States and is easily accessible for Aussies and Kiwis with only one stop required in the main gateway cities of San Francisco, Los Angeles or Dallas. A short flight or a car rental will see your clients exploring this amazing state in no time at all. Long before Arizona became a state, people were drawn to the area's beautiful weather and stunning vistas. Tracing back at least 12,000 years, the first American Indians found this region and decided to make roots. Today, 22 sovereign American Indian tribes, each with their own unique history and customs, reside in Arizona. You can see the influence these tribes have had on Arizona's local history while visiting the ancient American Indian ruins around the state or at a history museum to hear stories from the first people to call Arizona home. Whilst most Arizona reservations and tribal communities welcome visitors to experience their culture, tourism opportunities vary amongst the different tribes. On that note, here's some interesting facts to keep in mind when visiting Native American sites in Arizona. Each tribe is a sovereign nation with its own government, laws, and regulations that may apply to visitors. Sacred areas such as grave sites are restricted and not open to non-tribal members. Tribal laws prohibit alcohol on tribal land, except in designated areas like casinos. There are fire restrictions on tribal lands and in Arizona. It's important to note that failure to comply with tribal regulations could result in fines, confiscation of equipment, and/or expulsion from tribal lands. Like any community, tribal land is a home to those who live and work there and should be respected as such. Although most tribal communities are open to the public during daylight hours, the homes are private and should be entered only by invitation. Many tribal lands do not grant access unless you are with an American Indian guide. Some examples of lands that require guides include Antelope Canyon, Canyon de Shea, and Hopi. There are several other tribal lands and attractions that require a permit to visit, and the procedure for obtaining a permit varies between communities. For example, one of the most popular and difficult permits to get is to Havasu Falls on Havasupai tribal lands. These are offered each year in early February and often sell out within minutes. It's important to always check before proceeding to explore. Visitors are encouraged to get first-hand knowledge of the tribal lands in Arizona with an American Indian guide. Not only will traveling with a guide grant you access to areas usually off limits to visitors, but you'll gain cultural and historical insights that you would otherwise miss. As noted earlier, there are 22 American Indian tribes in Arizona, all listed here. We'll highlight a few of the more well-known tribes in this presentation. So first up, let's take a look at Navajo Nation, which encompasses northeastern Arizona and extends into the Four Corners region, including Utah and New Mexico. Famous parks in the Navajo Nation include Monument Valley Navajo Tribal Park, Canyon de Shea National Monument, and Antelope Canyon Tribal Park. This area covers more than 27,000 square miles of arid deserts and alpine forest with high plateaus and mesas and mountains reaching as high as 10,000 feet in altitude. There are also low desert regions with an altitude as low as 2,700 feet. This is the largest land area retained by an indigenous tribe in the United States. On this slide, you'll see a few attractions that you may have come across in one of our earlier webinars. First up, we have the Hubbell Trading Post National Historic Site. This site is the oldest continuously operating trading post in the Navajo Nation and is the best remaining example of a traditional Southwest trading post. Canyon de Shea National Monument, the 84,000-acre monument, sits at an elevation of 5,500 feet and showcases impressive ancient ruins. And dinosaur tracks. These dinosaur tracks were formed in the early Jurassic period, approximately 200 million years ago, and have been verified by paleontologists from Northern Arizona University. Looking here, you'll hopefully see some more familiar sites from our second webinar on national parks, monuments, and the great outdoors. All home to the Navajo Nation, we have clockwise from left, Antelope Canyon Tribal Park, Painted Desert, Antelope Point Marina, which is on Lake Powell and operated by Navajo Nation, and the White Mesa Arch. Moving on now, we're going to take a closer look at the Havasupai Tribe. Noted for their remote location, the Havasupai Tribe are known as the people of the blue-green water, and it's hard not to see why. Their land features just over 188,000 acres of canyon land and broken plateaus along the western edges of the Grand Canyon's south rim. Current residents live in Supai Village in the 3,000-foot deep Havasu Canyon. One of the most famous sites, however, is the Havasupai Falls, pictured. Please note, you cannot access these falls without a permit. Next up, we have the Hualapai Tribe, meaning people of the tall pines. The Hualapai Tribe have inhabited this area since AD 700 and culturally identified as part of the Paiuan, which includes Havasupai and Yavapai tribes. The Hualapai Indian Tribe owns and operates Grand Canyon West, GCW, which is actually not part of the Grand Canyon National Park. GCW offers unparalleled panoramic views of the canyon's west rim from hiking and biking trails, whitewater river rafting, a zip line, and a famous skywalk. Notable places to stay in the area is the Hualapai Lodge, Peach Springs, Hualapai Ranch. Now let's take a look at the White Mountain Apache Tribe. Located in east-central Arizona, the White Mountain Apache Tribe presides over one of the largest tribal lands in the United States. There are many different nations of Apache people. White Mountain Apache Tribe are Western Apaches, closely related to the people of San Carlos, Payson, and Camp Verde. In east-central Arizona, the tribal lands are home to a high desert that's teeming with life, boasting world-class elk hunting, fishing, and other year-round outdoor recreation. Pictured here and moving clockwise, we have Knishba Ruins, which are the remains of a village built and occupied by ancestors of today's Zuni and Hopi Pueblo tribes. Nearby pit houses indicate settlement here as early as AD 800. Sunrise Ski Park, the largest ski area in the state, with 65 runs, there's an adventure for skiers of any level. Summer activities are endless as well, including scenic lift rides, zip-line courses, downhill mountain biking, and a tubing hill, to name a few. Fort Apache Historic Park, constructed between 1874 and 1932, the Fort Apache Historic District encompasses the original site of the Fort Apache military post. Fort Apache was a major outpost during the Apache Wars between 1861 and 1886 and remained a military post until 1922. The Navajo Nation is located west of Tucson in southern Arizona and known as the People of the Desert. This is the second largest American Indian tribe in Arizona with 28,000 members and a land base approximately the size of the state of Connecticut. Popular attractions in the Navajo Nation are also pictured here. Mission San Xavier del Bac, built in 1783, this is generally considered the best example of Spanish colonial architecture in the United States. The Kitt Peak National Observatory, which is home to 26 telescopes and can be toured daily, and there's also a special nighttime program, and the San Xavier Co-op, which is a 1,500-acre farm near Mission San Xavier del Bac. The farm holds workshops on harvesting and preparing foods traditionally eaten by the Navajo people. Most of the attendees are tribal members, though anyone is welcome. You can also shop for native beans, spices, and other goods at the co-op store. The land of the Hopi Tribe is made up of several villages that rest at the base and top. The first mesa encompasses 4 villages at the top and base of the mesa and is known for pottery making. The second hosts 3 villages known for coiled basketry, and the third is known for wicker basketry. Talented weavers, doll carvers, and silversmiths can also be found at each mesa. For those visiting the Coal Mine Canyon, which is located on the border of the Navajo Nation and Hopi Tribe, be aware both tribes have different rules and regulations regarding the canyon. The Navajo Nation occupies the western portion of the canyon, whilst the Hopi occupies the eastern. Now let's take a look at the Phoenix metropolitan area. This community is made up of 2 distinct tribes, the Ortham in Pima County, known as the River People, and the Paipash in Maricopa County, known as the people who live toward the water. Centuries ago, the Pima's ancestors farmed the Salt River Valley and created elaborate canal irrigation systems. The Maricopa originally came from the lower Gila and Colorado rivers. In the 1800s, the 2 tribes began to combine their forces for protection against settlers and other tribes. The Ortham are known for their watertight basket weaving, while the Paipash in Maricopa are most commonly celebrated for their red clay pottery. Salt River Pima, Maricopa Indian Community. Popular attractions in this community include the Salt River Fields at Talking Stick, which is home to the Major League Baseball spring training each year. There's also the Talking Stick Entertainment District, which includes 2 golf courses. In fact, Golf Week consistently ranks Talking Stick's golf club's courses as 2 of the best courses in the country. Odyssey in the Desert, Butterfly Wonderland, Phoenix Rising Pro Soccer, Talking Stick Visitor Center, and Hugam Key Museum are a cultural well of information about the two tribes' histories and cultural events. Notable museums to visit are shown here. The Explore Navajo Interactive Museum, located in Tuba City, offers an in-depth look at the Navajo people's journey as well as their social and historical contributions ranging from ancient times to the Spanish-American War to World War II. Hopi House in Grand Canyon Village, Heard Museum in Phoenix. This internationally acclaimed museum is one of the best places to experience the myriad cultures and art of Native Americans of the Southwest. The Museum of Northern Arizona in Flagstaff, which is one of the great regional museums of our world in one of the Earth's most spectacular landscapes. The museum and its 9 exhibit galleries evoke the very spirit of the Colorado Plateau and its richly diverse native cultures, tribal lifeways, natural sciences, ecology, and fine arts. A Maryland Museum in Dragoon, which tells the story of America's first peoples from Alaska to South America and from the last ice age to the present. So that's it for this week's webinar on Arizona's tribal nations and experiences. Hopefully you've already discovered in our earlier webinars that we have a beautiful downloadable destination guide on the Arizona Agent Training page of the Link Tourism website. And we always recommend you visit the USA Discovery Program and obtain your Arizona badge. Thank you for watching. See you again for the next episode where we'll be talking about all the best road trips in Arizona. Cheers.